Have you ever felt like you're living two lives? The one everyone sees and the one that's just for you, hidden beneath the surface. Did it ever happen to you that a single moment changed everything, leaving you to pick up pieces that never quite fit together again? What would you do if the world expected you to move on, but your heart stubbornly refused to let go? I'm Sarah, and for the longest time, I've been trying to make sense of a life that feels like a masquerade. Every day I get up, put on a brave face, and go through the motions as if the past hasn't left its mark on me. Once, my world was vibrant and full of promise. I had dreams, ambitions, and a brother who was my everything, my confidant, my protector, my mirror. Then it all shattered one cruel day, leaving an emptiness I never knew could exist. I spend my days surrounded by people, yet I feel like a specter, drifting through social spaces where I can't truly be myself. Smiles are polite shields, and conversations are just noise, drowning out the thoughts I wish would quiet down. I've become an expert in the art of superficial interactions, mastering the ability to seem present when I'm really a million miles away. It's a lonely place, this island of unresolved trauma, and I'm stranded with memories that refuse to fade. How does one live with the ghosts of yesterday? It's a question I ask myself every morning as I stare at my reflection, searching for the girl I used to be. The pain is like an invisible chain, binding me to a moment I can't escape. But here I am, inviting you to walk with me in this silent struggle, hoping that maybe, just maybe, sharing this journey will lead us both to a place of understanding and healing. The weight of the day had settled into an uncomfortable heaviness by the time I arrived at the family gathering. The laughter and clinking of glasses felt like a distant echo in a fog that only I seemed to inhabit. It was supposed to be a celebration, but for me, each smile plastered on my face was an act of defiance against the storm brewing inside. And then it happened, as casually as a light breeze shattering a glass house. My uncle mentioned him, my brother. His name sliced through the air like a serrated knife. Remember how he loved these gatherings? He mused, oblivious to the tidal wave it unleashed within me. My mind spiraled back to that day. The screech of tires, the abrupt silence that followed, the way time splintered, leaving shards of memories I couldn't piece together. The world had collapsed, swiftly, violently, leaving nothing but a chasm of guilt in its wake. Guilt that still clung to every fiber of my being, whispering that it was somehow my fault. Everything around me blurred, like a painting left too long in the rain. The party's sounds dulled, replaced by the haunting echo of that moment. My heart raced, pounding with a ferocity that felt like it might tear me apart. Yet, on the outside, I was a portrait of calm, a fractured masquerade. Eventually, I found refuge in the bathroom, the mirror, my only witness. My reflection looked foreign, eyes wide with unspoken terror, the faint tremble in my hands betraying the turmoil within. I wanted to scream, to claw away at the image before me that felt like a ghost's shadow, but all that emerged was silence, a silence that suffocated more than any scream could. And in that silence, I felt the world inching away, leaving me suspended in a moment that was never meant to exist. The bathroom tiles were cold beneath me, grounding me in their stark reality, a chilling reminder that my pain was now part of the architecture of my life. I lay awake each night, an insomniac among dreams that never come. My room is a prison, walls closing in with every breath, a silent testament to the chaotic storm within. My brother's face haunts me, eyes filled with a kind of light I can never reach again, a light extinguished too soon. Memories assault me, uninvited, like shards of broken glass piercing the veil of my forced composure. I see him, the way he laughed, a sound that was once my refuge, now a haunting echo. And the accident, it plays on loop behind my eyes, an unending reel of horror that binds me to a moment I can't change but can never forget. The guilt, oh, the guilt, it clings like a shadow I can't shake off no matter how fast I run. How do you forgive yourself for surviving when he didn't? I've become an expert at wearing masks, each one a facade of normalcy that fools everyone but myself. Yet, beneath, there's a hollowness that gnaws at my insides, a void that no amount of routine can fill. Work is just a distraction, a ticking clock that measures my days, but not my healing. The phone rings, messages light up the screen, but they lay unanswered. I can't bear the weight of others' expectations. Therapy sessions are a silent dance of words that fail me. My mouth moves, but the truth remains caged in my throat, a silent scream that reverberates in the quiet of the room. I want to speak, to unravel the tangled mess inside, but fear holds me hostage. What if letting go means losing him all over again? I write letters I'll never send, words spilling onto paper like tears, each one a testament to love and loss. Crumpled pages litter my floor, a physical embodiment of emotions too big to contain. I wish I could go back, rewrite the past, hold him tighter, just once more. Every day, I drift further away, lost in a sea of what-ifs and could-have-beens. Exhaustion wraps around me like a shroud, suffocating in its relentless grip. Is there a world beyond this grief? Beyond the echoes of memory and the crushing guilt? I am trapped in this cycle, a broken record of anguish and longing. Is this the life I am doomed to live, forever haunted by the ghost of what was? The world had become a dissonant melody, each note a reminder of what was lost and what still lingered painfully alive within. Beneath the surface of routine, something within me had fractured irreparably, yet remained unnoticed by everyone except my own silent heart. The facade of normalcy I had carefully constructed began to wobble, a precarious tower built on the shifting sands of unvoiced grief. It all came crashing down one afternoon in a moment so inconspicuous yet explosive, it felt like the universe whispering a secret I'd long refused to hear. In the midst of polite conversation over lukewarm coffee, a friend's well-meaning but ignorant hand brushed against the scars I'd hidden, her words a spark thrown carelessly onto the kindling of my suppressed anguish. The outburst that followed was a tempest unleashed, and as my voice rose to meet the storm within, I saw the shock ripple through her eyes, a reflection of the chaos I had become. But with the anger came a clarity, a rainstorm of raw emotion washing away the accumulated dust of years spent in denial. This collapse was not an end, but a cleavement of soil, allowing seeds of understanding to take hesitant root. I fled to the sanctuary of the park, where shaded memories of my brother lingered, their presence almost tangible, woven into the rustling leaves and sun-dappled paths. Here in this shared space of brokenness and beauty, I allowed myself to weep, tears tracing the lines of my face like rivers carving new landscapes. Each sob was a bridge spanning the chasm between past and present, a metamorphosis from cocoon despair into something resembling acceptance. That night, trembling with exhaustion and a strange new resolve, I began speaking into the lens of a camera, the cold glass, a stand-in for the brother I could no longer touch. Words spilled forth, unfiltered and jagged, a waterfall of confessions and apologies, hopes and regrets. In this raw dialogue with absence, I found a new voice, one unburdened by pretense or expectation. The video diary became a lifeline, a tenuous thread connecting me back to the world. Slowly, in the quiet moments between tears, hope flickered, a fragile newborn flame daring to illuminate the cavernous dark. Here, amid the wreckage of my collapse, I discovered that healing, like all things worth having, begins not with answers, but with the courage to ask the questions. The world remains as tangled as my thoughts, silent echoes of what once was and what might have been. My brother's laughter still rings in the quiet moments, a symphony of missed opportunities and unspoken words. And yet, as I sit with these memories, I begin to understand that his presence is not something I must forget, but something I can carry with softer edges and less sharp pain. It was never about leaving the past behind, but learning to dance with its shadows, to let them guide me, not haunt me. In therapy, I found a voice I didn't know I had, one that whispered the truth I had buried. I feared losing him all over again if I let go of the guilt. But guilt is not a monument to his memory. Love is. Reaching out to others who wear their grief like a second skin, I found a strange comfort in shared sorrow. Their stories mirrored mine, different faces of the same ache. In their eyes, I saw the possibility of resilience, of finding peace, not despite the pain, but through it. Visiting his grave is no longer an act of desperation, but of quiet conversation. I speak to him now, not with the anguish of a lost past, but with the hope of carrying him into the future in every sunrise and every moment of stillness. This journey is not a path to closure, but to continuity, a reminder that some stories never end. They evolve. And so I walk forward, not to forget, but to remember differently, embracing this fragile, beautiful act of living. Through Sarah's window, the morning sun spills a gentle light onto her floor, illuminating the motes of dust that dance in the stillness. Her heart beats with a new rhythm, slow and tender, a song that neither denies nor glorifies her grief, but embraces it as a companion, an intrinsic part of her being. As she sits by the window, cradling a steaming mug, the warmth seeps into her palms, grounding her in the present moment. Here, amid the quiet, she breathes. The memories of her brother no longer batter against the wall she built. They ebb and flow like the tide, familiar and unyielding, yet softer now, like whispering waves. In her chest, pain no longer feels like a gaping cavity. Rather, it is a wellspring of fondness for the time they shared, a tribute to love that neither time nor absence can diminish. It is here, in this sacred silence, she finds a semblance of peace and acceptance that both her joy and sorrow are interwoven threads in the tapestry of her life. The echoes of laughter from those days past do not pull her under as before. Instead, they ripple through her, luminous and bittersweet, reminders of a bond unbroken by death. Her tears come not from anguish, but from the beauty of fleeting moments treasured and the promise of carrying him within her wherever she ventures, each step forward imprinted with his memory. As light fades into dusk, Sarah feels the gentle assurance of continuity, an unspoken understanding with the universe that her journey, though marked by loss, is also rich with indelible connection. Have you ever been through something you've never told anyone about? Something that still lives in your chest? If you feel like sharing it, we're here. Drop your story in the comments, even just a part of it. Every week, we turn one of your stories into a cinematic video, just like this one. This is a safe space. Your voice matters. You're not alone.